Welcome to Profound Frivolity. We're your hosts, Dustin,
Oren,
and Gray.
And in this podcast, we're going to be telling stories that you didn't know you wanted to hear.
So grab a drink.
And some good and plenty.
Because this is Profound Frivolity. Alright, so we're doing another one. Yay.
Obviously, otherwise this wouldn't be existing.
But, yeah,
on
so
the interweb.
we were sitting, thinking of ideas, and we're like, what are we going to do? But then it clicked. Because we're just entrepreneurs, and we know how to make amazing content. We always have, in fact. And that's why today's topic is previous attempts at fame.
Woo. And or slash business ideas as a young child.
Yes.
But it'll be shortened for the title, don't worry.
Yes.
But already you would know that because you've already clicked on it.
Yeah. And today's episode might be just a little bit shorter because we've got some stuff to do and
we've got to go to Spanish class.
But it'll be good. It'll be full of good stories.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Okay, so am I going first?
Yes.
I have two different ones. But my first one is that so there was this one time when I tried to start this, this is a club, mind you. I tried to start this club that had an admission fee.
Oh, my.
And the whole thing was, I'm just going to get money by making people join. It wasn't about the club really at all.
Wow. Did the club have, any specific, it was a club about...
It was a Pokemon club. It was literally a Pokemon club.
Well, then I've heard about this. I didn't know it was a mission, but you told me about it.
Yeah,
it was
so I had...
church or something.
The thing was, I wasn't willing to be mean. So it was to all of my friends, which was, everyone I was going to invite, but, all of my friends, I expected them to just take in complete strangers or something for me, and those people would just pay me. It was like a quarter to get in.
Oh, so it was like a friend of a friend of a friend, and everybody
I was hoping it would be like that.
And,
because Pokemon was really, really big, specifically just, in my school.
And then you moved here to Texas, and you were like, wait,
and when
everybody hates Pokemon.
And then when I mentioned it once, I got yelled at.
Yep.
Clarification has been made, by the way. No one is still mad at me. Anyway, but I was like, okay, so we're going to invite all of these people, and they're basically going to work for me, and we're going to do a Pokemon club. And yes, every week we're going to play Pokemon.
Wait, is it manga or manga?
It's manga.
It's manga if you're from Japan. It's manga if you're from the U.S.
Okay.
I still call it manga.
I
don't call it manga.
I feel weird if it's called manga. It's like calling a mango a mongo. That's...
That is gross, but it's not a mango. It's a
That's just saying it with an accent.
Manga.
And the
anyway, that's
besides
the
Japanese accent.
Besides the point.
Go ahead, keep going.
Anyway, so I'm sitting there one day, and I still have this notebook, but I open up a notebook, and I write out my entire plan. I write out these, tiers of people, and...
How many quarters it'll cost.
And it's, and you can upgrade your status by participating really well.
Wow.
And if you upgrade your status, eventually you get to lead matches. You'd check people's decks so that they would have enough cards. You'd make sure they had the right energy to Pokemon ratio. They make sure you weren't playing with any locally illegal cards. Illegal being you can't use this card in here in this club,
right?
Because there's Pokemon is a bit pay to win, and the kid with $20 to spend on one card could just buy a GX Rayquaza or something and just wipe the floor with everyone else who doesn't have $20.
Yeah, he goes to your school and he's like, guys, what's up? But he's got an entire deck of GXs, and you're like, those are illegal. Spent all my birthday money on these. Too bad, kid.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Basically, it's a GX card is just a really strong one.
Yeah.
I actually just watched this video yesterday of a pawn shop or something, and this guy was selling a bunch of Pokemon cards, but the pawn shop owner was like, I don't even know what the heck these are. But turns out they were it was literally the only one in existence, and he found out, and he was so bummed he didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Oof.
Anyway.
You should have been like, hey, what's up, man? You haven't sold up on my car? I'll take it. For 50. Yeah.
Go once, go twice.
Yeah.
bring it back. Oh, it's Squirtle.
So there were two main groups you could be in. You could be a kid, or you could be normal. Because I was like 8, so I was obviously like an adult. So you could either be a kid member, which basically you don't get to do anything.
Which brings us to our next one. We're opening Patreon, so make sure... No, I'm joking. No, you guys are all at the same level. Listener.
But...
Sponsor us.
But anyway, you could be a kid, or you could be an adult, right?
Uh-huh.
And children.
So does it cost more to be an adult?
No, you...
no, you gotta pay rent, go to college, buy a car, you pay... get a wife, own a family. This is what it takes. Only then can you use GX Squirtle in your battles.
Is that a thing? Anyway. But, yeah.
I hope not.
Pretty much there were 2 groups. It was super elaborate. I wrote it all in my notebook. I showed it to one friend. He said it was a bad idea, and it never happened. And now that youth group is sitting on... And not that youth group. That notebook. That's literally a different word. That notebook is on my bookshelf right now. I can go read through the awesome
go back and
plan.
start that in our youth group. Except we'll probably get kicked out for summoning demons.
No.
Pokemon cards. No. I got a story about a club that I started. So we have this like weird attic space because here in Texas we don't have. We do not have basements because one, there's like a lot of bedrock and whatnot, and our machines can break that.
You can't dig through bedrock.
Obviously, in Minecraft, it's illegal unless you have like I don't know, like a diamond hoe or whatever. That was done once. But no.
Well, actually, what are basements used for? Like just storage, or is that?
We had a basement
an
in
extra
Colorado.
floor of our house.
Yeah, same. We had like a bathroom, a room,
Dang.
a TV. It was. I literally love basements. I want a basement again, but it's too hot.
Why are they so known for being like the creepiest part of the house?
Because it's downstairs. There's like only one exit. No.
And the sound
well, actually,
is
yes.
weird down there.
I was scared of my basement. Story for another time. But because we don't have basements, we have all these like weird little attic places. Like we do have an attic, but then we have these like weird second story closet attic places that are just kind of like weird.
It's like, how like the top of the roof, it goes down, it's triangular, and the house is like that. Right. But the house doesn't...
Right. Your walls in the upper floors aren't slanted. Well, these are the rooms that are on the slanted part. They're like little hallways that go along the side, right? Okay. They have these tiny little doors, like really small doors. But there's this one that is in this other part of our house. It's kind of like a bigger, taller room with like a larger door, mainly for storage. Well, I cleaned it out. Okay, not like all the stuff, but I, cleaned it up, got a table in there, put some chairs in there, and I started a club. And it wasn't a club; it was just a room. And I invited everyone to like join my club. And my 2 younger siblings were like, "Yeah, let's join a club." And we called it the Red Foot. I don't know why. I think there was like this other club called like the Purple Hand in like some movie we watched. So we like totally ripped it off and we called it the Red Foot.
I think it was the other way around.
No.
I think it was the Red Foot in the movie.
No, because we still have a piece of paper with literally a red foot drawn on it.
No. I specifically remember there being a piece of paper with a purple hand on it that was taped to the door. I remember that.
I'm sorry, that's not how
I might remember it too. Did I live here when it was a thing?
Yes.
It was a purple hand.
It was. I think
it was!
It was done
we did do a purple...
Yes,
okay, we did do...
Crayola marker.
Yes, well, we did do a purple hand club, but that was quickly discontinued because of copyright issues.
We got too big and the copyright companies...
Yeah. The movie called us and was like, "Hey guys, you can't see our club." So yes, at one point in time, it was called the Purple Hand, but we switched it to Red Foot.
Wait, wasn't it like our older brothers also had a club and they called it the Purple Hand or something?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
I feel like there was like a rival gang. It was like our two older brothers.
I don't have an older brother.
And they were all like,
Well, okay, that kind of leads into my story.
Oh, okay.
So our club had no purpose, which made us sad.
No, made us.
But we also carried around these weird sticks that were like old curtain rods from like our old house that were just sitting there.
Oh, and those are the coolest thing.
And they have like little
yes, like
stuff
awesome
on the
knobs.
and,
it looks so cool, right? So you carried those around, and mine was the tallest because I was the oldest and the leader of the club.
Oh my gosh.
And
was I in this yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And we would literally just walk around the house in our club, and then go back and play like what we thought was poker at the time, and we would like.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, like you're so edgy. Like I play poker.
Yeah, literally like on this setup like
go
card
fish.
table.
Mom, stop! We're playing poker. Get out of here.
Yeah, so that's what we do. And then we were like, hey, let's make our club a tree climbing club. So literally our purpose was to climb trees. One day, me and Gray were climbing a tree as part of our club. I don't think you knew it was part of the club because I didn't want it to be like stupid. But it was. It was like a club adventure. Like a field trip into the backyard up a tree. Wow. So we were like climbing this tree. And then our older brothers, who I think this is the club you were talking about, maybe, they were like, hey, what's up, guys? You climbing that tree? We were like, yeah, we're climbing this tree. They're like, yeah, we've been way higher than that. Literally, we just climbed the tree in the front yard. Yeah, that's right. The one with the weird scraggly branches that like no one's ever been on. And immediately, I was like, I had been on that one before. I had not. And I was like, yeah, I climbed the entire tree. I've totally done it before. I can do it. They're like, really? Then do it. And, like, obviously that sounds so cheesy, out of, like, a child's movie. But in that moment, I felt a fear. Because I knew I couldn't climb this tree. Because I had tried before, and I couldn't get up it. I just wasn't, like, big and strong enough to get up this tree. But
you're
obviously...
physically unable to climb the tree.
Obviously, I wasn't just going to tell them, oh, I lied, I've never actually been up it, please don't make me. So, they brought me to the front yard.
They brought you.
They brought me.
Yes. You.
Yeah, they knocked you out and dragged you there.
Yeah, with the bag over my head. I was like, where am I? Oh, wait, it's the front yard tree.
At the front of my house.
And they're like, okay, if you can do it, then do it. So I was like...
Prove it!
So there's like 2 levels to this tree. There's one level that's really easy to get up. Then it branches off to this really fun... see what I did there? This really like fun little area where you can like dangle your feet and it's like kind of like over some bushes. Right? And there's a second level that's like a horizontal. The trunk goes just... I mean, not horizontal.
Parallel to the ground.
No. It goes like straight up and then parallel to the ground. So the trunk goes like...
vertical.
Right, it goes vertically up, which is up, and then it goes horizontal on the ground and just goes straight. Oh my goodness, yes! Stop. I literally...
Wait, no, honestly, in this case, horizontal and parallel mean the same thing.
True, right, because it is going horizontally parallel with the ground. Not perfectly parallel, but yes. So anyway, this tree was the large tree. And the second story of the tree I could not get up on until then. And I climbed it up. And I got onto this little area on the tree. And then I was like, I did it. I climbed the tree. And they're like, now go across the large area. Like, the bridge area. The one that goes across to the next tree. And
Wait, what? So, like, go across the branch to get onto another tree's branch?
That, like, there's, like, this large branch that goes across our yard. So I literally bear hugged to this thing and, like, scooted myself
like across... a caterpillar.
Yes, this, like, 6-foot branch to the next tree and, like, jumped onto the tree.
That is literally...
And I proved them wrong. And then...
I bet that felt so good.
Then they climbed up, and it turns out there is another branch right above that branch, the one that goes out, that you literally can just hold onto and walk across. Like a safety line. And I felt so dumb. They were like, yeah, you've obviously never climbed this before. And I was like, yeah, but I climbed it now! And that club lasted a couple of days.
Remember that werewolf thing we did?
Yes.
That was sick.
Yeah.
What?
Remember that weird werewolf club we made? Where
if you got scratched.
Like, physically scratched. We were running around slashing our fingers at people.
Yes.
What the
If you got scratched.
Was I a part of this?
Everyone was.
That's how the game worked. We felt superior because...
If you were like, I don't want to play, then they're like, well, actually, you are.
Like, functionally,
oh my god,
technically, yes.
Because it's like everybody plays the cheese touch, just not everybody knows it.
Yeah,
it's
and
like
not
that.
even everyone wants to.
Cheese touch.
You can't do that.
Yes, I can. I'm superior.
Yeah. But that's what we were doing.
Literally, I was resisting for so long. You were like, boom, I scratched you. You're part of my clan. Because it was like, there was like
Yeah, and
like
I like
two different clans,
gosh.
and you would like collect werewolves and like battle. And I was like, I don't play, and you're like, well, that's too bad. You're still playing. And I'm like, I'm not
literally
playing.
like that.
And then I was like, hey, can I start my own clan? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah,
and you
'cause
like
it
have
was-
these marks
how the
on your
game-
arm.
So
How the game
corny.
worked was, like, if someone got you, it was permanent. Like,
Right.
whether you
Oh.
wanted to
yes.
act as a werewolf or not,
You
you're
were
a
a
werewolf
werewolf.
now and will be recognized
Exactly.
as one.
And-
so it's best that you participate rather than being mocked for not doing it. 'Cause
Right.
it got popular.
It did. Like our entire youth group was doing it at one point. It
Yeah.
was much smaller back then, but you know.
I don't know where I was, what rock I was underneath, because I have no recollection of this whatsoever.
Okay, but the thing is, we would take Sharpies and literally physically grab someone's arm when we had to scratch them. And we'd be like, okay,
my
now I gotta
gosh!
mark
Yeah, 'cause
you.
they've got like the mark on our face.
And we would literally draw the symbol on the wrist.
But it was
showing,
pretty cool.
It was a cool
looking,
symbol.
So, people didn't
So
mind.
you would draw on the wrist, showing that they're a werewolf. And then you would draw your clan's symbol. So if anyone went up and scratched them, they would show you your wrist, show you you're already a werewolf, and what clan you belong to.
Oh my
And it was-
god!
That's really cool.
All the leaders got
They-
their own. All leaders got this special symbol that we would use red sharpies to draw. It was like everything else was black
so
sharpie,
good.
but if you had a red sharpie one, you were sick. You were a leader,
Yeah.
and I got to make up my clan symbol.
That's why, like, everyone wanted to be a leader to get that third mark, you know. But we were like, but
No.
we
Some people even
managed
tried to
be like-
branch off. They were like, "We're starting our own clan," and we're
But
like,
it always
no.
petered out because nobody else was
Exactly,
behind
and then they
them.
come back and be like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I want to be part of your clan because it has more members." And I'll be like, "Obviously."
Not
Damn.
psych. No.
And you would even like transfer members. I remember like when
you
I was
would trade members to clans that
yeah,
had
literally. I'd be like, "Hey, I'll give you my little brother.
I'll give
if
you
give
Jeffrey
me your little
from
brother."
Marla.
Well, you wouldn't even trade them. It was like if some person became inactive in the game because they were still playing.
Baseball.
Right.
We called them. We even had a name for those people, right? The people
It was like a
like the people who
Phantom or
lost
something
the
like
passion or something.
Oh my. Oh
Because
no.
they were like looked down upon because
Yeah.
they were still a werewolf. But
I
not
actually
acting
I actually
one.
like felt bad for because one of my brothers was like, "I'm not playing anymore." I'm like, "My clan just got smaller. We've lost a life today." And I felt like
but then a
bad
bigger
for him.
clan would be like, "Hey, we'll give you this guy because you need manpower."
Exactly. When I
Because
first started
everyone
a clan,
had their own different strategies to get more people.
Exactly.
Anyway, we could so like go into this another time because it's so fun to talk about.
Yeah.
I just.
But I
can't
remember
even
walking into
believe
church,
that.
and you and Grace's older brother were just running at me, like charging at me, and you like scratched my arm, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "Okay," and you explained it to me, and I was like, "No, just because you scratched me, I'm not playing."
And you're like,
Yeah.
yes, you are.
Yeah, and then no, literally, when we would first scratch people, they'd be like, "Oh, I don't really want to play," and be like, "Well, you are playing no matter what," and they're like, "What?" And then we would explain to them how like everyone was playing, and they're like, "Well, except for me, I'm not playing. I get to choose." And we're like, "You can think that, but you're actually playing."
Oh my gosh,
And
I
literally,
hate that.
they got
you
so
couldn't
mad.
believe what you won.
But you're actually playing. Everyone else here knows you're playing. And literally, they would get so mad. It happened every time. And then, almost all the time, they would come back around and want to play. Because they saw everyone else. Because they saw everyone else enjoying it. And having those awesome marks on their wrist.
Yeah, and even when we ran out of people at our church, which is where this was happening,
I tried-
we'd still give stories of like, now our families are in the club.
Exactly.
Now, like,
I literally went to
and-
Colorado and tried to, like, start it there. I thought this thing would
I
take off.
successfully did start it in Illinois.
I literally
when I visited
I was
there.
like, this thing is going to take off. Someday, it's going to wrap around all the way back to our church. And we'll know that we started it.
No,
I
but
had
like
big
I
dreams.
started and it actually worked out in Illinois after
Nice.
living here when we visited because that's where I used to live. So we
Bro,
visited.
legend has
see
it,
people.
little children still play this game today.
They might.
The
I don't
marks
know.
literally never leave your wrist. We tattooed them there. Yeah, those were not Sharpies. Those were tattoo markers.
Tattoo
pens,
pens. Yeah,
Whatever.
no, not a pen.
No.
It's a gun.
tattoo gun, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, that went super long, but it was
It's
cool.
very interesting. Yeah. I still am sad I don't remember it well because that sounds very.
All right, and
very-
you do have one, right?
I do.
But
yes.
we should do a break first, right?
Yes, we're going to do a break. And after that, we'll tell 2 more stories.
Okay, we're back, clearly, otherwise I wouldn't be talking right now. Anyway, I've also had my share of, I mean, not fame, obviously, but like,
attempts at it.
Yes, though.
This podcast!
This podcast is the closest thing I'm gonna get, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, but no, when I was little, and I don't even know, I think I was like 6 or 7, and me and my brothers, well, okay, so when I was little, the only, like, real talent I had was, like, holding a tune. But what's funny is my entire family is pretty musically inclined, and we all knew it. And so the only thing we could ever do to, like... I mean, okay, I'll just explain it. Instead of starting, like, a lemonade stand as a kid, we would do, like...
Street performances.
Yes. We would, like, stand, like, in our cul-de-sac with, like, a karaoke machine. And we would just, like, sing little, like, kid duets, hoping somebody would find it cute and, like, give us money or something.
That's so funny.
I know,
That's
and it's not like...
sad.
I know!
Get a little pet monkey, rub some dirt on your face, and be like, yes, we from this faraway land, we come to sing to you.
Oh my gosh. But it's like, it's not even, it wasn't like on the street in this like big old place. It was literally in my neighborhood.
Like in front of your house.
So the only people that are walking by is like Martha from down the street who's getting her steps in, you know? It's like nobody saw us. Until we had the brilliant idea of...
Go down to the... Okay.
We're going downtown to make some money. No. So
I'm leaving, mother.
My older brother, and I also did too, we learned how to play, like, the recorder, which is basically, like, every second grader's instrument. It's basically just a plastic tube with holes in it. And you just, like, blow on the end, and you... Like, that's
yeah,
just...
it's super easy.
And it sounds really bad, too. Like, it sound... I mean, I'm sure there's
If you
some...
play the recorder, no offense to you.
It's like, you know, the kid who, like, sticks a recorder up his nose and does, like, you know?
Yeah.
So my older brother knew how to play it. I also did too, but I was just really bad at it. And he was like, you know what we should do? We should go to Target. And we should stand outside of Target, and we should get a hat. And we put the hat in front, and I will play the recorder, and Greg, you sing, and little brother, you show off your sick dance moves. And so, my mom, being my mom, is like, okay, you guys can totally stand outside of a Target and...
Literally, Target's so sketchy. Welcome to Target!
I don't know why she agreed to this. I mean, like, obviously,
maybe.
she wasn't gonna, like,
So
drive away or anything.
She's like, see you guys later after work.
see you,
You're like,
see you
yeah, see you later,
in a
Mom.
week. No. Help me make money. Bye, kids. You know. No, so she's just, like, there, like...
Make sure to feed your little brother, okay?
Yeah, don't forget. You have to split the chicken strips 3 ways. No. She's sitting in one of those, like, you know, uncomfortable metal benches, probably, like, on her phone while we were, like... No. But before that even started, my mom was like, you know what, you should probably get permission from the people that own the store. And it's like, it's a Target. Like,
No one
like,
owns Target.
like, I mean, like, no one really cares, you know, but we're gonna go in, ask anyway, like, whatever, what are they gonna say, no? They said no. They legitimately said no to these 3 adorable children who wanted to play music and dance in front of their store.
I'd say no.
Really, though, would you?
Yeah.
Actually?
Maybe.
I would.
You would?
Yeah, probably.
Not because I wouldn't find it entertaining, but just because... Well, no, I wouldn't find it entertaining. I find it obnoxious in the end. The problem is that they'd probably get committed and stay there for too long. I don't mind if they just did it spontaneously.
But,
for
like,
fun,
what?
for,
You're gonna
like-
lose business? Because there are
Maybe.
kids singing?
I know of several people who would totally not go in a store if they saw street performers in front of it.
But it's not like we were, like, gonna be in front of the door.
If it's New York, then that's
you just like want to be in like a parking lot.
No, I
You're
mean,
just,
like
like,
on
standing
the
in a
side
lot.
or something. I don't know.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't care that. I was picturing
Either way-
like in front near the lobby.
No,
like,
no.
Yeah, I
like
wouldn't
in
blame
between
that,
those
like-
2 like sliding doors, you're just like in that little
No, like
room.
in front of it, like you have to give us money unless we won't let you pass.
Or else we will watch you walk by.
We'll shame you
Out.
with our eyes.
Like when there's those people with the Christmas buckets in front, and you don't
oh my gosh, and you feel so bad. Yeah, no. So anyway, I was like literally so bummed out about that. I was in my mind, I was like cursing them out with all the terrible second grade curse words, like poop and butthead, you know, and you know, so I'm like screaming in my mind. I'm like, you know, we have to do
it anyway.
We have to. No, my mom wouldn't let us. We have to make up a really, really good stand in front of our house, and we have to get a karaoke machine, and we have to sing, and we have to dance. We have to do that for hours until we get enough money, and then we'll go back to Target. We'll prove to them that it's good, and blah, blah, blah. And I made this entire thing, and you know, like I came home and I went to bed, and like that was the end of it.
Why Target?
I don't know.
There's like other stores.
I know. I don't know what made me think this was a good idea, but you know,
Target's like the worst store. A guy just walks on, just picks up your younger brother, and just walks away. Literally, I can see that happening.
Bye.
He's like, "Oh, good dancer, yeah." Into the band.
I'll dress him as a monkey and put him in my circus.
Okay, I've got a story that isn't quite as funny because it involves a gang. It was my gang. So I had just read what's it called? That
I don't know.
Gang of Children, that old book where all these children go out and they do stuff, and they're called the blank gang, where they live. I forgot what it's called, but it's where they live, the name of their town.
Like Sugar Creek?
Yes, Sugar Creek Gang.
I've never heard of that.
Sugar Creek Gang. That's what it's called because they lived at Sugar Creek. And I read that book and I was like, that's so cool. That is awesome. I'm making one of those. Literally right now. We've got a friend across the street. He's got friends all over the neighborhood. Get him. I'll be the leader of a gang. We'll literally ride around the entire neighborhood on bikes. We'll be awesome. Okay?
What will you do?
I hadn't planned that far ahead. Okay?
Did you have a name?
Yeah, I did.
What?
It was our neighborhood with the word gang at the end of it.
Oh.
Obviously, I'm not going to say that, but, you know.
Willow Falls Gang.
Yeah, that was it. So for our neighborhoods, it kind of has a kind of weird name, so it didn't really roll off the tongue.
Is it the neighborhood we live in right
yes.
now? Oh.
It was yeah. It was just weird.
And I'm just imagining it. That was really dumb.
Yeah. So, we,
Yes.
It didn't really work as go planned. I got my brothers on board, and they were like, "Yeah, let's do that."
So you would literally just ride your bike around?
Well, no. We would go to the park. No.
And hopefully
so we got this ditch area, that. It's by the park. It's super sketchy. There's all this graffiti and stuff. I think in a previous episode I talked about going through the tunnel underneath the road. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's where our gang was.
Oh my god!
Underneath the road in that tunnel. So it was super sketchy. We would bring our skateboards and scooters and ride down the ramps of this ditch area. So I went over to our friend's house and I was like, "Yo, what's up?"
You can chill and drink canned drinks. Look all
in a plastic bag or in a paper bag. And I was like, "Yo, you want to start a gang?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then we went back to my house and we were like, "Mom, we're starting a gang with his friends." And she was like, "Don't call it a gang, honey, okay?" She doesn't sound like that. But that's how it sounded to my ears back then. Okay? So this is not what she sounds like, but to me this is what it sounded like. Okay, this is what I heard.
Every mom saying no sounds the same.
Yeah, it sounds like this. "No, you can't do that. That is not okay, okay? The word gang implies that drugs are involved." That's what I heard.
No,
that's what I heard. That's what I thought. That's what this child was
what you assumed her reasoning was.
And then in my brain I was like, "Mom, we're children. There's not going to be any of that. Obviously, anyone who hears that, they're not going to think of that. That was only you, in my brain." And she was like, "You have to call it a club." And I was like, "Ew! Clubs are gross!
What are we?
Clubs are
10 or something?"
So, we called it a club in front of her. Called it gang when she wasn't around. So, I was like, "Go get your friends." And he was like, "I don't have any friends." And I was like, "Neither do we." Okay, cool. He's like, all my friends are at school right now. And I was like, "Why aren't you at school?" He's like, "I'm feeling sick." And I was like, "Nice." So we were like, okay, cool. We'll just like arrange your friends to come later. Right now, we're gonna go ride to the ditch, get some food, and just hang out there. So we're like riding our bikes, and I'm like, hey, because it was kind of my idea. I should be the leader of the gang. And he was like, what? No, it's gonna be mostly my friends. I should be the leader of the gang. And I was like, we'll take a vote. Yo.
We'll take a vote between the two of us. I vote that I should be the leader. Well, I vote that you should be the leader too. Dang it.
Too late. Yeah.
You said it. You can't take it back. No take backs.
My two little brothers. So all four of us were going to take a vote. I was like, I vote for me. He was like, I vote for me. Brother one, I vote for for Gray. No, I vote for Dustin. Other brother, I vote for friend. And we were like, it appears we have an even number of children. We need another person to vote. Interesting. So we were like, fine, no one's the leader for today. Tomorrow, we'll find a leader. There was no tomorrow in that gang. It literally ended that night. We literally got in such a heated debate and argument about who should be the leader. I literally left the park. I wasn't supposed to leave the park without my brothers. I was like, I'm leaving. I quit this gang. I'm going to start my own. And just rode my bike home.
I thought you did start that one.
Kind of. And then, I thought about, a couple years later and, tried to start it. And then I was like, wait, I'm, too old for this. So I didn't.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I love it when, some kid stays home from school because he's sick and then hangs out with his friends, probably, getting all of them sick. If you're too sick to hang out with your school friends, you're too sick to hang out with any friends.
Yeah.
No, homeschoolers have more immunity because we're dumb and we eat dirt.
I took offense to that. No. One time I had a neighbor come over and they were like, hey, want to hang out? And my mom was like, oh, I had you at school. He's like, well, I wouldn't stop. I had explosive diarrhea this morning and I kind of feel queasy every time I move. But you guys want to go to the park? We're just like, no.
I would literally be like,
go home.
No, if you have explosive diarrhea, you gotta stay home close to the bathroom. Close to el baño. I think that's gonna end it for today's episode. It wasn't exactly super short, like we said at the beginning. We hope you guys enjoyed it.
We went a little long.
Yeah, especially with the werewolf thing.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
You have to say that was cool, because it was.
Yeah, it was cool.
Really cool.
Start it wherever you live, and maybe it'll wrap
start,
all the way back around to our community.
We just start writing, weird symbols on our wrists.
Like, what are those?
Until,
I'm
6 months ago, they looked this cool. Until about 6 months ago, Dustin still put it on his wrist, just because it looked cool. I remember.
Well, yeah, off and on.
Yeah, but it was still on there sometimes. And I'd be like, huh.
So that's what that is.
Well, it didn't actually originate there. I put it on my wrist far before that game, actually.
Uh-huh. It looks like a
I've always
tattoo. That's what he just turned
Was it just something you made up, or does it actually mean something?
No, it means nothing. But it looks like it means, honor and bravery in Japanese or whatever. I don't know.
No, it doesn't.
It totally does. Okay, if you guys have any stories about trying to become famous, or clubs, or gangs that you started when you were little, tell us in the comments, or email us at profoundforrealityofficial@gmail.com. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.